Hi there, future PEs. This is Wasim Asgar. I'm a licensed professional engineer in the US and Canada. I've authored several books on the topic of FE Electrical and PE Power exam preparation, and I also run popular exam preparation programs for FE Electrical and PE Power exams. So without further ado, let us dive into the content. Our Delta-Wye transformation when we have loads. And there are two variations over here. The first one is when we have a balanced impedance. If I have a balanced impedance, that basically means that in delta, if I'm looking at the loads, all of the impedances are equal. They're all the same. In that case, I can convert this into a Y-connected load by simply taking my delta impedance of each phase and scaling it down by 3. So there is no modification for phase angle. You just need to scale down the value of your delta impedance by 3. So let's say I had 9 ohms connected over here. I had 9 ohms connected over here. I had 9 ohms connected over here. And these terminals, we're going to call them as A, B, and C. The equivalent Y configuration would be 9 ohms divided by 3, 9 ohms divided by 3, 9 ohms divided by 3. If I were to connect a delta load, okay, with impedances, convert this into a Y configuration, all I have to do is to take this impedance, divide by 3, take this impedance, divide by 3, take this impedance, divided by 3. Now, if you're wondering, Wasim, okay, this is just real, so resistive. What about if I had a capacitor or if I had an inductor? So let's say I had a imaginary component to it, right? So it's plus 3j or minus 3j. Then how would this go? How will you basically go about it? Very simple. Now I'm going to divide this by 3. So this becomes 9 plus 3j divided by 3, 9 plus 3j divided by 3, 9 plus 3j divided by 3. Okay, you're just scaling it down. And this would basically become 3 plus j ohms. This would become 3 plus j ohms. This would become 3 plus j ohms. I've got this small request for you. 77% of you watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. That's a massive number. If this video is helping you out in any shape, way, or form, please do me a quick favor. Please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you will not miss out on any content that we've got planned, and it really supports the channel. Now again, this is relatively easy. This formula is actually given in the reference handbook for FE Electrical and indirectly provided in the PE Power Reference Handbook. Sometimes they provide more details in FE and less details in PE. But anyways, conceptually though, theoretically, fundamentally, do we understand, do we recognize what really is going on with this transformation? I am trying to make my life easy because if I get thrown with Y source, sure, connected with a delta load, then the issue over here is that I cannot directly apply Ohm's law until and unless I convert this guy into a Y as well. Because remember, the name of the game is YY. So we need to have a YY configuration. So the source side is legit, it's looking good, but the load side needs to be modified, manipulated. How do I go about it? That's where this comes into play. If it's a balanced three-phase setup where every phase of delta has the same impedance connected on it, you can simply come up with Z1 or the Y configuration, or let's call it a Y, right? ZY, by dividing Z delta by 3, by dividing Z delta by 3, by dividing Z delta by 3. And fundamentally, what you have done is that from the standpoint of the load, okay, from the standpoint of the loads, in terms of the terminals, your voltage will not get impacted, line to line voltage and line current will not impact it. So within this black box, right, however way I want to sort of modify this such that my line quantities are not impacted, it's all good. So this delta Y transformation, by reducing it by 3 and converting into a Y, will still have the same impact as if the original delta was connected at these terminals. This is a key piece of information. This is a key piece of understanding that you need to have when you're doing these delta Y transformations. Nobody's physically going out in the field. Nobody's physically taking the wires off, removing the loads, arranging them in Y, or doing any different types of termination. This is just for our mathematical analysis purposes, and it flies, it works, it runs, because our line quantities are not impacted if you go about this transformation in this manner. If you don't go about this transformation in this manner, you forget to divide it by 3 but divide it by 2, all bets are off. If you equate this equal to this, all bets are off. If you introduce any type of manipulation in terms of phase angle, which is not required on the load side, all bets are off. You will no longer be able to ensure that with the original delta, you'll have the same quantities on the line that this transformation can provide. So that is an underlying link that makes this possible, that makes this work, that your line quantities are not impacted when you do these transformations properly. There is a next version of the Delta-Wye transformation, which is with a three-phase unbalanced. So let's say on phase A, I have this. On one of the legs of the delta, I have this. On another leg of the delta, I have this. On another leg of the delta, I have this. So why have I labeled them A, B, and C? This may be 3 ohms. This may be 4 ohms. This may be 6 ohms. Now I cannot simply go ahead and, call that Z1 is sort of like the ZA divided by 3, right? Or Z2 is ZB or ZC divided by 3 or something like that. Okay, this becomes a little bit more sophisticated. It becomes a little bit more complicated. This becomes more like PE power. And this diagram, this concept forms a component of three-phase analysis and PE power, because when we get to the PE power level, we start dealing with unbalanced system. So the formula is given. I'll just give you a high-level overview. What we are trying to do is still the same thing. We are trying to sort of go from our delta configuration to our Y configuration, because we remember that Y is the name of the game. So the way that we basically work this out is by drawing a Y inside a delta. And in my P power program, I sort of almost derive it from scratch, giving very detailed explanation. But assuming you have the equations in front of you, you can see that this is where Z1 is showing up, right? So the Z1 is showing up over here. So when I look at the formula of Z1, Z1 is squeezed in between ZA and ZC. If I just give you ohms or impedance values, you won't be able to identify it as A, B, C, D, right? You will just be working with the spatial arrangement, right? How they're relatively positioned with respect to each other. So Z1 will be the impedance that is on this leg, which we are calling as ZA, multiplied by the impedance that is on this leg, divided by the sum of the three impedances. Now let's take a look at Z2. Z2 is the one that is squeezed in between ZA and ZB. So what ends up in the numerator? The product of these two impedances divided by the sum of the three. And when we are looking at Z3, and the reference handbook doesn't sort of go out and explain to you, okay, this is how you have to arrange it. They just simply throw equations at you, and they can sort of take you for a ride by not giving you these variables, and you have to then figure out, which is, I think, a fair game, right? For Z3, this is my Z3. It is squeezed in between B and C. So B and C in the numerator and the sum in the denominator. And you can use the same approach, same logic going from right to left. If I have been provided, right? If I have been provided a Y, and for whatever reason, if you want to go from a Y to a delta, right? If you want to go from a Y to a delta, then we know that my ZA is this guy, right? Looking at delta. Then my ZB is this guy. And my ZC is this guy. So when you're going from a Y into a delta, the delta ZA will be equal to the product, all the three products, Z1, Z2, Z1, Z3, Z1, Z2, Z3. That is true for all three of them. When we are coming up with the Y configuration, we are taking some of them. The difference in the case of Z3, ZA, is what is in the denominator. So right opposite to ZA, you can see that there is Z3. When it comes to ZB, right opposite to ZB is Z1. That ends up in the denominator. And when we're looking at ZC, opposite to ZC is Z2. So this is how you can go from a delta to Y, a Y to delta in an unbalanced scenario. The unbalanced scenario is not part of the FE exam preparation, not part of the FE specification, but it is part of the PE Power specification, PE Power Reference Handbook. To summarize what we've learned over here, the single biggest takeaway is that we always want to solve three-phase systems in a Y-Y configuration because the Y-Y configuration allows us to apply the Ohm's law directly. If the source is in delta configuration, then we need to take the line voltage of the delta, divide by square root 3 and reduce its angle by 30 degrees to come up with the equivalent Y phase quantity. Once you have the Y phase quantity, you can apply Ohm's law if the load is also in Y. If the load is not connected in Y, we have to have another step. We need to convert the load from delta into Y configuration. That can be done by taking the balanced impedance of the delta load, reducing it by 3, and that basically gives me my value for the ZY. If the load is unbalanced Y, which is unbalanced Y, unbalanced delta, which is not part of the FE exam specification, FE scope, then we have to make use of this formula. We have to pay attention to the geometry, the relative arrangement of these impedances, and come up with the respective values for Y or delta. Okay, there is no real value in going from a Y to delta other than maybe a standalone question that might want to test you on your understanding and application of these diagrams and formulas. In 99.9% of the time, you will always be going from a delta to Y, both on the source as well as the load side. One caveat though I want to mention, and this is sort of a level 3 advanced concept, is that Ohm's law, what do you guys think? The Ohm's law is going to help you when you're doing a delta Y configuration or a YY analysis for an unbalanced system or not? I'm going to repeat the question. So let's say you have an unbalanced YY, which basically means that the phase A voltage, phase B voltage, magnitude wise, phase wise is not balanced. So the definition of a balanced system is that the magnitude of every single phase is equal and they're perfectly offset or out of phase 120 degrees depending on the ABC or ACB configuration. So let's say I do have a YY, but the YY is unbalanced. Can I use Ohm's law on one of the phases and figure out the other two phases? Is it possible? Or is there something else that we need to do? Symmetrical components. Okay. Symmetrical components are going to be the tools that will help us unlock unbalanced system. And that is not something we deal with at the FE level. It is something we deal with at the PE power level. And I basically go about deriving them from scratch. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. On a weekly basis, I'm creating content for FE Electrical and PE Power exam preparation. I also discuss topics related to electrical engineering with a focus on power systems engineering. If you'd like to learn more about my FE Electrical and PE Power exam preparation programs, please visit my website, studyforfe.com.